Remember when things were much simpler? A time you didn't have to worry about anything, and everyone older than you told you not to rush growing up? Because when you grow up, you're going to wish you were a kid again. Nowadays, you're overwhelmed with stress, probably have some newfound anxiety, or maybe even phases of depression. As life goes on, it gets harder. You're just trying to make it in life, and factors outside of your control keep pushing you down, like higher cost of living, higher education, or higher healthcare expenses. Wages are not increasing as fast as you'd like, and in some cases, wages are being swept away from under you as layoffs are going on in the job market and the job market gets tighter. Facing debt because somebody told you college was the only way, and now you racked up student loans to chase a dream that someone sold you. The unemployment rate for new grads coming out of college is rising, and the degree holders are returning to jobs that don't require degrees at all because it's just that hard in this market to prove you bring value to a company right out of college, as these companies look for ways to trim down headcount and automate or increase efficiency for existing jobs using AI. And even if you do have a corporate job, this still gives you stress because you're facing toxic work culture requiring you to work more hours, or your upper management dangling promotions or raises above your head, which are just false promises. And even coming in the post-remote work era, there are blurred lines between your personal life and your work life. I know for me at least, there were times, and there still are times, where I'm getting messages after hours where someone is asking for something to get done because it's urgent and we don't want to hold up progress. It's so easy to give into these types of requests where it feels like you're always on because of how bad the job market is right now. I'm already an anxious person to begin with, but when I see others getting laid off or companies introducing performance improvement plans to squeeze out workers from their teams, not giving into their after-hour demands, all of this leads to burnout, which so many people are feeling, and on top of this, you still might be trying to upskill yourself to keep yourself competitive in the job market. So not just working during regular work hours, but also working outside to keep learning or gaining or improving skills. When do you have the time to sit back and relax? Just enjoy the simple things in life and spend time with loved ones. And oftentimes, you might be supporting loved ones or your own family, which piles on the extra stress to make this actually work and keep grinding. Life doesn't get easier, as there is always new stressors being thrown at you. Another part of growing up is seeing your peers growing up with you, or at least others in your age group on social media. I myself am my own worst critic, and I'm sure there's so many others like this. I'm so hard on myself when I see others accomplishing similar goals as me, and it's so hard not to compare yourself to others. This is a natural human instinct. Why has mental health been such a pressing topic lately and mental health awareness is on the rise? 20 to 30 years ago, mental health was viewed so differently as it is today. People facing anxiety or panic attacks, depression, eating disorders, increasing rates of loneliness. In many cases, it doesn't get easier as you get older. You're still facing instability and the uncertainty of what the future brings. Loading up social media and being hard on yourself, you might see posts that make you think, wow, this person has such an amazing life. This person isn't lonely. Look at the party that they just went to with all their friends. Or wow, this person just accomplished this goal, now showing it off on social media. You might see this and immediately start critiquing yourself. On the surface, comparison is such an easy thing to do. There's a flip side to social media where these posts just show the highlights, but they could also be facing their own problems and struggles, and even doing the exact same thing everybody else is doing by comparing themselves, because there's always something or someone who accomplishes more than you, or has more friends than you, has already accomplished something in life you're trying to achieve. That's why deleting social media can be so beneficial to mental health as you're trying to focus and architect your own life. Generational shifts is the biggest one that gets me. Life is already hard as it is, but this always reminds me that it gets harder. It doesn't get easier. People in older generations that were able to accumulate wealth or buy a house or support a family in their early 20s criticize how society is moving now. To them, they laid out a blueprint of work hard, go to college, and get your lifelong job right out of school. If you work hard here and show loyalty, you'll be able to make it far in life. Put your time in and your pension and social security will take care of you in your retirement years. But the current generation doesn't even know if they'll ever be able to buy a house or if they'll be able to even support a family or have kids, save for retirement, and ultimately achieve the American dream. So much uncertainty in trying to navigate this big technological shift that has happened so far post the 2000s. Higher barrier to entry for a lot of things. Money went farther with the baby boomers. House prices and prices in general were not as high and made sense relative to the wages back then. Having a degree back then also meant a lot more than it does today. A degree in the 1980s, for example, was more rare when it feels like everybody today is going down the college path. So now, how do you differentiate yourself from other new grads? Times are changing, and the generational shift of ideas easily shows this. Older generations were playing on easy mode, and they think the difficulty hasn't changed. Life progressively got harder and more complex to navigate. Life is already hard, and it's getting harder. If you're going to school, you're going to have to get creative and innovate. Make yourself stand out from others and try to show you're really the best. If you're trying to start a company or work for yourself, you're going to have to put in hours and hours into the grind. You might get lonely, and you might have days when you're just working away, locked in a room trying to build something. If you're already working, you might be facing other challenges like raising a family and supporting others. How do you balance being there for your family, but also make sure that they have what they need in life? Whatever stage of life you're in or whatever life throws at you, you have to be resilient, even in the most difficult of times. Always know what is important to you and what you want to prioritize in life. Make sure you don't forget about your own well-being, so hit the gym, get active, go for walks, or look for a change of scenery to clear your mind. Build networks and find community that share common goals as you so you're able to relate with others and learn from each other. Make sure to find a balance and cut yourself some slack. It's fine not to be in grind mode 100% of the time or actively working towards something. Just pause to take things in and reflect back on yourself of the progress you made and where you're going. Spend time with family and friends and find other ways to reset to help with the life burnout. So when you do go back into grind mode, you're refreshed to give your all again. Always be resilient and adapt to changes. Life is hard, but adapting to difficult situations can make it easier. If you never adapt, you'll forever be playing life on hard mode.